Hey guys, how you going? This is Billy Eat World again. Thanks for stopping by, and just remember, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, feel free to take a look at some of my other BF4 videos if you like. You can find them all in a playlist in the description down below. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to check out another theme loadout for BF4, this time inspired by the German army. And the reason I thought I'd pick this theme is because I think you'll agree the German weapons are some of the coolest guns in game. Just remember though that normally I pick the theme for these videos from your comments, so if you've got an idea, then feel free to leave it down below. But with that being said, obviously I don't have enough time to try out every single loadout, so make sure you come up with something fun and unique, and there's a good chance I'll give it a go. So to kick off, the modern German army, or Heer, is the land component of the German Bundeswehr, originally formed in 1955. Well, actually, technically, you could say it was first formed as the West German Army after the Wehrmacht was disbanded at the end of World War II. East Germany also formed its own army around the same time, but when the Berlin Wall fell in 1990, the West German Army absorbed it as well. And since then, Germany has grown to be one of the most influential and technologically advanced military powers in Europe, rivaled only by France and the UK. In fact, as of 2016, the German military numbers around 180,000 personnel, and of that, around 60,000 make up the German army. And in addition to that, the army also fields around 250 aircraft, 400 tanks, and almost 6,000 armoured fighting vehicles. So, in other words, Germany's frontline force is almost entirely mechanised, which is a massive force multiplier on the 21st century battlefield. And like I said, Germany is also at the cutting edge of military technology, so even though its army may not be that big, all of this combined gives it a huge advantage. Now, speaking of military technology, well, the reason they're so far ahead is because historically Germany has produced some of the world's best firearms. And by far, some of the most well-known German guns today are made by Heckler & Koch, who make a bunch of weapons in BF4. In this video though, I've chosen to play with two H&K guns that I very rarely use these days, the MG4 and the Compact 45. And to round out the loadout, well, obviously I'm using the ammo box, but to shake things up even more, I thought I'd try out the claymores and the incendiary grenades. So as for attachments, well, as you can see, I'm running a pretty basic setup on the MG4 with just the reflex sight and the vertical grip. But with that being said, I should point out that I did start with nothing but the bipod and the iron sights, which is more authentic, but it's also kind of boring. Speaking of boring, well, as for the Compact 45, well, once again, I'm not using any attachments at all, because once again, this is a military theme loadout. And like I say in just about all of these videos, most countries can't even justify issuing most of their troops with sidearms, let alone expensive pistol attachments. Now, as for how this loadout performed in game, well, as you can see, this video is basically one big long clip, and all up I think I finished on something like 27 and 2. And that's because with a rate of fire of 800 and a capacity of 200 rounds, the MG4 can pretty much go head to head with just about any other gun. The only real issue is that it's got a fairly decent vertical kick, and the accuracy does suck pretty hard when you start moving. But once you spend some time with it and you get used to how it works, it's actually pretty good, and even if you do miss some shots, well, you've always got the ammo box to top you up. As for the rest of the loadout, well, the Compact 45 isn't that bad, but it's not like you're ever going to run out of ammo and need to use it anyway. And as for the gadgets, well, obviously the ammo box is great, but to be honest, I don't think the claymores and the incendiaries are really worth running. Both of these gadgets do slow the enemy down, sure, but they're really only useful on close quarters maps. So all in all, I didn't really bother to use them that much anyway, and I think I probably would have preferred something more consistent like the smoke grenades and the C4. So to finish up, even though the MG4 isn't really one of my go-to LMGs, I definitely recommend giving it another go if you don't use it that often. Because although a lot of the time it can let you down, every now and then you get a game like this which makes it all worthwhile. The only thing I would change though is probably to chuck on a suppressor instead, because with 200 rounds to spare, it'll help you do a lot more damage. But with that being said, I don't think it really matters that much anyway, because as long as you're a good player, even without attachments, the MG4 will do just fine. But anyway guys, that just about wraps up this video, so let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see any more of my videos or if you want to support my channel on Patreon. And until next time, see you later and have a good one.